All right, it's a weekend. It's winter here in Eastern Canada, and it's cold, which means, yeah, I waited to do some work on my car. I've got to go away a few days for work, so I did the right thing, waited for the coldest day we've had this winter to put the winter tires on this. And while I've got the wheels off, I'm going to go ahead and change the front driver's side wheel bearing or hub assembly on my 2008 Pathfinder. Now, I've done videos on this before. Here's what this is not going to be. It is not going to be like a full instructional video from somebody that knows what he's doing. What it is going to be is a video to say, you can probably do it. I don't know you. You probably can. You might not be able to. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, you could break something or your wheel could fall off, and that would stink. What it will be is a really quick video from this point on, just to show you what you're looking at, where it is, where the bolts are, what the sizes are, so you can have a look at it before you try. If this is helpful at all, my kids tell me that all the people on this platform say, you should subscribe. And apparently, if I say that, maybe someday I'd make enough to buy a coffee. So if it helps you, hit that stupid, I don't care. Here we go. Let's show you what we're getting at. Okay, remember what I said? This is not an instructional video, but check this out. Here you go. To get this hub off, we need to pull this cotter pin. So get yourself your favorite pair of needle nose pliers that you want to break and get that out of there. I'm going to do that in a minute. This wheel hub nut, axle nut thing, 32 mil, needs to be loosened. The brake caliper needs to come off, which is going to be a bolt right here and a bolt right here, if you can see that. And then there are 4 bolts in the back of the hub. We'll swing around here so you can see them. Really easy to get at. 1, 2, 3 down here, in there, and the 4th one over on this side where you can't see it. So here we go. I like to spin this loose before I do anything else because it's a little easier. I've got this, but breaker bears work fine. I've done it that way for years. Get that broke off. There we go. We'll come back to it later. There you go. Now this one and the one on the bottom, I had to use a breaker bear to get it loose. Find some sort of configuration that works for you. And we're gonna pop those bolts out and then hang this caliper up here somewhere. I'll show you. Okay, find some sort of tool configuration that works to get in. These are 17 mil. For me, it's this swivel on a socket, but I've used short extensions like this one before. I did put a breaker bar on it to get it started. There's 4 of them. So the caliper brackets were 19 mil. These are 17. We're gonna pull those 4. I'm on my first one. I'll let you know when I got them. If it happens to help you, I found on the top 2 that this little extension got me out of the way of the CV shaft. And there's all kinds of ways to do it. But for working around the sway bar link, I didn't want to take it out. So I came in from this side and we're just doing short throws. Don't damage that boot. Should be all right. Okay, I leave this on till the end because I don't want to damage the threads on my CV shaft because I do need to change that, but I really don't want to today. Now we're going to pop these clips out right here for your speed sensor thing. There's one up there that pulls toward the spring. Yep, you follow it up here. We're going to release this clip. If you live somewhere where there's no salt, I envy you. So unplug this and then everything will be free and we're going to get ready to pull this off. So this plug just unclips from the frame right there. If you want to make your day hard, make sure you slip and hit that wire. Put a little nick in it so you have to repair that before you can carry on. Ask me how I know. Okay, once you're sure all 4 bolts are pulled, one right there, through from the back, one there from the back, 2 down here, through from the back. All I did was took this thing here and gave it a good flogging. Here, 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 here. I left that on so I couldn't miss and mess the threads up. And then here, and out it came. If you live in the salt belt, which I do, that may not always work. You may need other methods employed, pullers, slide hammers, bolts running backwards, different tricks that lots of guys other than me would love to show you on YouTube. But for me, a good thrashing, and off she came. So I was changing mine because I'm going away. I want my wife to get stuck, and it's the only one that hasn't been done in this vehicle. Here's why. Hear that? I don't know if you can hear it or not. It was just starting to howl, so we're getting rid of it. Gonna come in here, clean all this up as best I can. I use a lot of never sees on things that you can, Be smart, because I'll be the next guy in. And as you can see, there's salt here. So here's the new one. We're gonna put it right back on. Right on here, we'll follow the torque specs. I'm gonna put those on the screen. I'm not gonna give you those because you need to learn to look them up for yourself. Don't take this idiot's or any other idiot you've never met's word for it on the internet. The manuals are free. Just look them up. I'll show you the page that's got this on it. Look it up for yourself. NicoClub.com. If you're lucky enough there's something left of your dust shield, make sure you thread this before you put everything on. I always put that on right away or I'll forget. It clips together, those two clips in those two holes on the frame, and you're good to go. Then we're gonna run 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4 in from the back. I'm gonna torque them in place before I put the caliper on because I've done it the other way and it's a pain. Then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna put the cotter pin in, brakes back on, and we're done. Okay, here we go. It's torqued on. You should never, ever, 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 I'm told, reuse a cotter pin. So of course I would never, ever do that. These 4 are torqued from the back side. Again, you saw those specs. You can look them up for yourself, NicoClub.com. Everything's in. This is installed. We're gonna go ahead and put the brake rotor back on. And then we're gonna put this caliper back in place. We're gonna torque that. They were on the screen. You can look them up. After that, the wheel's going back on, and I'm gonna get back to changing tires. There you have it, it's back in. Now, obviously, I would normally inspect the brakes when I was in here, but I just did the front brakes on this a couple weeks ago. If you're curious about that, grab another video. But these are both torqued. Everything's back together as it should be. Put some Never Sees on the new studs. And these Nokian Outpost tires are what's coming off. These have been great tires for what it's worth. We're putting Goodyear Wrangler Duratrax on studded for the rest of this winter. All right, I don't know if that's been helpful to you at all, but in the event that it has, you're welcome. In the event it hasn't, I didn't waste much time. Happy weekend if that's when you're watching it. That's when I'm making it. And you can maybe probably do it. If it helped you, again, my kids tell me if I say hit that subscribe button, you might do it and I could buy a coffee. So go ahead. That'd be awesome. If I did a bunch of stuff wrong, tell people that in the comments so they don't screw it up. I'm not a professional. I don't claim to be. Have a good one.